Hi, Dr. Drake here. If you're a parent, you've probably heard a lot about developmental milestones. When should my baby roll? When should they sit up? When should they crawl? When should they walk? And for most families, that conversation usually centers around timing. Everybody wants to know if their child is doing things on time. But here's what parents need to understand. While timing does matter, there is something else that is often more important, and that is the order and sequence in which milestones happen. Because milestones are not just random boxes to check off on a chart. They are a step-by-step process that helps the brain and body build a strong neurological foundation. So first comes head control, then rolling, then sitting, and crawling, then standing, and walking. Each one of these steps is helping your child's nervous system organize, strengthen, and connect in a way it was designed to. That means milestones are not only about development in the moment, they are about preparing the body and brain for what comes next. For example, head control helps babies build strength, stability, and coordination. Rolling starts to develop body awareness and movement patterns. Sitting helps with posture and core activation, and crawling, one of the biggest milestones of all, helps develop bilateral coordination, hand-eye coordination, posture, core strength, and communication between both sides of the brain and the body. That's a huge deal because when milestones happen in the right sequence, the nervous system is laying down a more stable, organized foundation for future growth. But when milestones are skipped, rushed, or happen out of order, sometimes that foundation is not as strong as it could be. Now, that does not mean every child who skipped crawling is automatically going to have major problems. Not at all. But it does mean we should be paying attention, because sometimes skipped milestones can show up later in ways that parents do not immediately connect back to infancy. It may look like clumsiness or poor posture, low muscle tone, balance issues, coordination struggles, sensory challenges, trouble focusing, fidgeting, difficulty sitting still, emotional dysregulation, even challenges with confidence in movement and body awareness. In other words, when the early building blocks are missed, the body sometimes has to compensate later. And that's why this conversation matters so much. See, as parents, we're often told, don't worry, they'll figure it out, or every baby's different. And while there is truth to that, there are also times when a child gets a little stuck. And when that happens, it's worth asking why. Because development is not only about muscles, it is not only about age charts, it is not only about waiting and seeing. Development is deeply connected to the nervous system. The nervous system is what controls tone, coordination, movement, sensory processing, attention, regulation, and how well the brain and the body communicate with each other. So if the nervous system is under stress, overwhelmed, or not regulating well, it can make development harder than it needs to be. That is why we talk so much about nervous system stress in our office. See, a child's nervous system can be affected by physical stress, chemical stress, and definitely emotional stress. What we often call the thoughts, traumas, and toxins that build up over time. And when that stress piles up, kids may have a harder time moving smoothly through developmental stages. Sometimes they're late to milestones. Sometimes they skip milestones. Sometimes they seem to meet the milestone, but they do it with poor quality movement, compensation, or attention patterns. And that is where we start to look deeper. In our office, we do not just ask whether your child eventually walked or eventually crawled. We want to know how they got there. Did they have strong head control? Did they roll well? Did they crawl with good coordination? Did they skip right to standing? Were they always stiff, tense, asymmetrical, or frustrated in their movement? Those details matter because they tell a story about how the nervous system is developing and adapting. And here is the exciting part. When we help support and regulate the nervous system, kids often have the opportunity to function from a much stronger foundation. That is why pediatric chiropractic care can be such a powerful tool. Our goal is not to chase one symptom at a time. Our goal is to help the brain and body communicate better, reduce stress patterns in the nervous system, and create a more stable foundation for growth, coordination, regulation, and development. When the nervous system becomes better organized, that can open the door for better movement, better posture, better balance, better sensory processing, and better adaptability overall. That is what makes this work so meaningful. Because sometimes the issue is not that a child is lazy, stubborn, overly emotional, clumsy, or just behind. Sometimes their nervous system simply needs more support in order to do what it was designed to do. And when we can help the body shift from stress and compensation into better regulation and function, incredible things can happen. So if your child skipped milestones, seemed to rush through them, got stuck in one phase, or if you just have a feeling that something is off, I want you to trust that instinct. You do not have to just wait and wonder. There may be more to the story. There may be a reason your child feels stuck, and there may be a way to help. If you want to learn more about developmental milestones, nervous system stress, and how we support kids in building a stronger foundation for growth and development, reach out to our office. We would love to help your family take the next step.